Hi everybody, and welcome back to Talent League Season 9. Of course, we are going to crack on with the games tonight. As you know, thanks for coming back if you've been away for that little, I said a little break, but quite a long break. It's just because, of course, we had a game cancelled, but we're going to crack on with the next game in just a few moments. My name's Chamberine. I'm joined by the wonderful Velocity again, and we're going to crack on with this second game of the evening, which is going to be Spirit Gaming versus Firebird NPC. How are you feeling about this one?
This is going to be a good game. This really is going to be a good game. If we put up the standings, obviously we have Firebird NPC who is in 5th and Spirit Gaming who are in 3rd with only a couple points difference. Only 3 points difference. So this is if Firebird NPC win this game, they tie points for Spirit Gaming and it goes to round difference. So who takes the top spot or 3rd?
That's what I'd like to see. We want to see something pretty competitive as much as possible. We're going to head into the map veto and just have a wee look and see where we're going to be heading. And of course, you can see on your screen that we're going to be heading to the wonderful chalet. Yeah, you mentioned that chalet. What are you thinking about chalet? How are you feeling about that?
Oh well, we spoke just before the map, didn't we? And I saw chalet, and I am really excited for chalet. You don't get to see it as much as we used to.
Yeah.
Because just one of those things. And I'm quite a big fan of chalet. I like the map. I like to cast the map. I like to play the map. So I like the map.
Yeah, chalet's a good map.
Yeah, quite happy to see it's finally being played. And well, lovely. My camera.
Is your camera gone?
My camera's gone. That's fine.
That's okay. We'll crack on anyway. We're just about to get into the game, so that's no problem at all. But yeah, chalet, of course, is we're going to be heading to. The only really interesting thing to mention that is that Firebird were the ones who banned last. They banned Club to take us to chalet, so they were deciding ban. That's really all there is. Of course, best of one format. Ban, and then decider. So it's not really something much more to There's not like a winner or a loser really. It's just kind of the way it does play out. And generally, in terms of the maps that we've seen, Villa's been the most picked one at 8 in the minor, and Chalet actually, you said that we've not actually played it that much. You must have missed a few games because it's actually the second most picked 4 times. So there's not really like a favorite map except from Villa. Really, that's about it. But yeah, we're going to Chalet. It'll be the 5th time it's played this season in the minor league, the 10th time overall across both of the minor and the major. But I think we're pretty much ready to go. Yeah. Everybody's in the lobby.
Players are just going to be checking for skins and things like that because we had obviously some issues in our last game with having skins and the players have to leave because they have skins, and so we're just going to get they are just checking round 4 skins to make sure they're on, and we are just going to get a quick time check on how long it's going to take for them just to be ready. It shouldn't be too much longer. So while we wait, let's delve a bit more deep into some stats and into some statistics. And even why not? Let's pull up the staff predictions for this match for the minor league. So where are we?
I have them on my end, but it's not the greatest graphic to look at. I'm not gonna lie. Nope. And that shout to Safe, who does the graphics.
It's 50-50. Put it out between all the staff. It is 50-50 on Firebird and 50% on Spirit Gaming. So even more so, it is going to be a pretty even match.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Don't ever really go against the staff because the staff half the time know best because they're the ones running the league. So
you would think so. Then again, I just kind of turn up in the day and speak about the game, so I would never really trust my opinion in terms of who's going to go where and stuff like that. Especially since I just came from console as well, so I don't actually know the teams as well. So we're going to be starting in roughly 10-15 seconds, and then we'll get into this. And the things we can discuss is maybe who do you think is going to be banned and who's going to be banned? Because we didn't see a knock ban, we didn't see a solos ban.
I think knock is near on certain banned on this map, along with Flores. And then I think we're going to see definitely a Mirror and I don't know, maybe a Frost. I mean, she's quite good on this map. So, and then we're just gonna have to wait and see. Spirit Gaming starting on the defense though, and obviously then Firebird on the attack. And the first ban is going to be a knock. Maybe I've already got one right, better than what I did last map.
There we go, first one right. So that's under your belt at least.
Exactly. I think it's pretty standard we see knock though. I mean, she is probably one of the best attacking operators in the game at the moment. So I think it's normal we see her probably alongside Flores, but no, a Doka B. Once again, they're in
strong ban.
very strong ban.
Very strong ban. Yeah, she's joint second in terms of ban rate. So that'll put her into the second most banned attack now, and 9 times now across the whole league. That's both in the major and the minor, of course. So roughly, 32% ban rate, roughly Dekebi. So not surprised to see Dekebi go at all. Azami as well. One of the top ban rates. I don't recall, was she banned in the last game?
Yes, she
was. So that'll put her onto the most banned operator, actually. She'd be 14 times. Well, still the most banned operator anyway, so it'd be 13 times is the correct amount.
And then so I'm still only one right still. But still, it's fine. Bans are out then, so
considering that 3 of the bans are the most banned operators that we have in the league, I'm quite surprised. They gave you second, but so this Azami and Nock, not surprised to see them go.
I walk into it as if I'm playing like ranked or a scrim, and then I realise, wait, no, this is an actual league match. They're just gonna go with the default bans, and not the stupid bans you see in like comp and scrims or ranked or in scrims.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I don't really know what the change would be for Nock, because she just gets banned so much. Like, what is it? The removal of the frags? Is it 1.5 that needs to go? What is it that is the real thinking? Because even when she's on the round, I feel like she isn't that impactful.
It's probably a mixture of both. It's probably that obviously her 1.5. I mean, most definitely needs to go because 1.5 is a strong sight. And I think putting frags on top of that as well, and the ability just to run around and literally not be noticed, kind of all individually they're not as impactful as people make out to be, but all together it's like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, the package.
Yeah.
It's
not the individual part; it's the package.
I mean, I think we'll probably see a change maybe later in the line. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the frags go, to be honest. But then again, I feel like she's an operator that suits them because she doesn't really have anything. She is a solo operator, so it's one of those ones where maybe I go on 6.
What would you replace them with?
I go on maybe smokes, and then maybe give her a gun 6 as well, maybe just to make it.
Could be on something. Well, instead of talking about what we could be doing and doing Yubi's job for them, we're going to be looking at this match now. We see the Cade going to be electrifying the wall, and the Thermite just chilling outside behind one of the snowmobiles, going to be droning.
It looks as though they tricked one. Yeah, it looks as though. It does look as though they haven't been able to trick, which is good. Which is a good start, of course. That's what exactly what you want to do. Steal away one of those and
breaking the fireplace window as we see, and then obviously also going to be looking to go through main, and is shut down quite quickly. And been met with a cat cam, and I don't know who the other one is actually. Sort of in the barway, might have rotated off now. 2 players also upstairs, and almost a missed drone, but is now found, and cat cam forced to move off. Isn't aware of the player that above him as well, and Cade looking to try and come up, play a bit aggressive, doesn't find anything.
It's a pretty big roam actually that they were putting out. They had one player on the top floor.
I was about to say that it's quite extended, quite aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. Still got a player on the top floor.
But it most certainly has done the job. I mean, the whole point of a roam is to waste time, and the fact they've got 3 players roaming and now only a minute and 15 left in. I mean, as I say that, Osa finds herself killed as well. I mean, this working a charm, isn't it? A kill and now time wasted. I mean, that's if you look up what is a roam in R6, you see that definition completely.
Yep. Definitely, 100%. They still don't know the Oryx is on the top floor. They don't have that information. They know where the Capcan is. They've droned it. They know where they're dining. Hatka able to find Loki as well on the backstairs area towards the blue side. But now they rotate as well from Koblos, who's looking to try and get down that blue staircase to find anyone that could be lurking at the bottom. Falcon able to swing it, finds Screaming now. Solos is dropped away. Courtesy of Falcon. That's 3 on the round and 4 on the round. Wallbang from Falcon. Great performance inside the dining. Is able to get themselves 4 kills on the round, and that roam was just too much for the attackers to deal with.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it was a lot for the attackers to deal with, and I mean, Firebird really did struggle to clear that roam. I mean, the drone work was kind of sloppy as well. I mean, they didn't really know where any of the Romans were. They were just trying to walk in the face jack.
Yeah, certainly that was the case. There wasn't really much. They did send a couple of drones in. They just didn't. It's one of those ones where people know they have to drone things. They know that that is a fundamental part of Siege, and yeah, let's send the drones in. Let's get the information. But they don't have anyone to follow up and actually act on the information. No one was there to actually push in, pressure them. There was no one going for the pinch because no one went from trophy side to try and actually pinch the player out of dining. You know, they swung from the double door as well, but there was 2 players that swung from there, and then another one came from bar at the end, of course, and it's just not an ideal scenario. So not great, but it's, you know, it's okay. So it's not, you know, it's just the first round, and it was a bit of a roam and whatnot, and hopefully Firebird are aware of how they're going to play that, how the defenders are going to play this now, and they can make some adaptations, because it looks as though they're going for the same idea again. They're going to go for that extended roam on the top floor. This time the site is of course kitchen and dining, so changing things up. Castle coming along for the party as well, and we'll see how that plays out inside this round.
Yeah, well, once again, you can see, as you said, are going to be playing a bit extended and quite heavy roam, and I mean, prep's still going on, and Firebird are walking into library, and Mute is still up there, and it's going to still be opening hatches, going to be still be making rotates, head hole, sorry. It's now droned, and this could be the easiest kill of Firebird's life if they play this to the T, and Bucky's going to be shooting into, I mean, as I say that, Loki finds himself Loki finds himself dead. And as I was saying before, Bucky's trying to get a wallbang, does find himself revealed as well by the alibi clone. And Mute once again droned.
Yep. Still just holding it out though, doesn't really care about taking any gunfights or whatnot. Sends a C4 and does do a hell of a damage onto Scrim as well there, who's on the Ash, of course. The shotgun getting popped out a little bit just to show that they're still wedged in that corner, and you're going to have to try and deal with the Mute. Eventually some damage is done, down to about 50 odd HP. At the same time as Stellar is able to find Coblos, and that is at least a man advantage taken away from the side of Firebird, but it's immediately established in favour of Firebird now because of the flip all the way around. And look at that, it's a 2 versus 4 scenario as Hudka is shot and dealt with. Eventually they did deal with the Falcon inside of Library, but it's a 2 versus 4 scenario with Headshot and Rockstar left with it all to do on side for Spirit.
But going to be droning the piano now, going to be looking to try and fork on that info. Does find the mirror, playing behind the piano, and breach is going to be open from Thermite, going to be moved back now. A lot of map control coming out from this side of Firebird now. They've already established that sort of map control that they need, and we've still even got Stella looking to try and push this mirror off of the piano, and is really just doing the job.
Yeah, trying to utilise those flashes as much as possible to try and flush out anyone that can be lurking inside the piano. Of course, there is still a shield just on the other side as well. They do have the Ash Breaching charges, or the Ash Breaching round, should say, if they do want to utilise that. Mira, though, has decided to drop all the way back to the Solar side of things. Of course, the site, remember, is indeed kitchen and dining. It is not the top floor, so even though they have all that map control, they still have the work to do to actually get a hold of the site. Headshot finds one, and that Scream dropped, and Stellar left with, Stellar is able to find Headshot at the same time. Rockstar now in a 1 versus 3 scenario, at least has the coverage onto B chassis and has to try and send the C4 deep if he does want an opportunity to deny the plant. Instead, though, the Thermite does drop out, and there is a planter, though I don't think they're aware, though. Stellar, though, is one going for that plant, but from above, death does come, and it does find the shot onto the final player as the attackers are able to win that round out. Firebird are able to equalise it, 1 apiece.
I mean, wow, they played that exceptionally well, Firebird. I mean, they took their map control, they found their gunfights, and I mean, overall, they played that quite well, in my opinion. I mean, I want to hear your opinion on this.
Oh yeah, like the early round was exceptional. I was a little bit iffy in terms of how they dealt with Falcon. It did take them quite a bit to eventually get them out, but they pinched it together, and this is what I criticised them in the first round. They didn't really work on the pinch. They had the information on where Falcon was, and they just didn't coordinate it well enough, and Falcon was able to essentially get gifted a 4K. In that round, though, not that opportunity. They played together, they went from the window, they went from the top of the square staircase, and they were able to pinch him out, get the kill, and that was where it really kind of snowballed and ended up winning the round for it. So it's a great round, wonderfully done, but we'll see some adaptations, I think, on the defense side.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, Frost in play now. Haven't seen her in previous rounds. It's the first time we're going to be seeing her in this match. I mean, quite surprised as she is quite OP on this map, I find. I mean, she is often, I see her often played in the competitive scene by nearly every team, and which is now only just coming into play.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit of trap utility coming along here. You've got the ADDs as well on the Capcan. And of course, you've got the Prisma as well, just to waste some time should they need it. And I think that's just what they're trying to shoot just now, but can't quite land the shot. Still are wasting quite a bit of time trying to shoot this Prisma, and it's not quite working out so far. Kobol's playing at the top of that blue staircase, knows that someone could come up from that area at any time. There is a shield, which is quite unorthodox. It's played quite aggressively inside of the library hallway, and you have a deep angle in towards library. Should the attackers decide to attack from there, they will likely not want to challenge that angle. I don't think it's one that they would favour themselves in. Hidka out towards Barnes Stock and knows that these drones will start to come in, and just as they do that, of course, there's no 1.5 inside for Oryx anymore. It's just the 1 times on that T5, so let's see if it is able to get the profit. We've seen so much throughout the league this season. Scream finds Cobalt still in solos, is able to find Hudka, eventually shuts him down inside the game. Scrim as well, second down the round, is able to find Falcon, and now we're in a 2 versus 5 scenario. Just like that, the defense has been picked apart, and Firebird are well in control of this round.
1 versus 5 now. Catcam, it's all down to him. It's all down to Edsa, I think it's how you say his name. Firebird looking to claw back what the momentum that they lost in the first round. I mean, it was very well played from Spirit Gaming, but Firebird are showing why they should be taking the place in third. And very nice shot going out onto Loki there. He finds himself dead. No longer a flawless round, an option for Firebird NPC. And I mean, he finds another, showing Firebird that it's not just over. He still does have that 1 C4 in pocket, as you said. Plant down though, post-plant situation. He has to now try and push for these kills, and is now half wall. Going to be looking to try and take some shots. A lot of damage onto the Ash. Isn't aware of the thermite. C4 goes out, detonated, but Sledge also now injured, and Ash swings a lot of damage onto her, but finds Catcam to close out the round.
I think it was a misplay, actually. Just an opportunity. There was an opportunity for the clutch to be there. Of course, you're never expected to win out in these 1vx situations, but just maybe a misplay in the utility usage there. Could have C4'd the planter there, and of course, it's pretty much a given that you're going to send someone in at the same time as the planter. Drops the coverage first, doesn't realise that the planter is directly behind them, and they're able to get the defuse down. Had they been able to send the C4 deep enough to get that, maybe a different scenario, or maybe, if they'd rotated a little bit earlier, you could have at least clutched it out. But it's okay, no problem. 1vx's, like I just mentioned, aren't expected to win them. In terms of the early round, fell apart for Spirit, not ideal. Just a couple of isolations with the 1v1s, and Firebird really just sweep through the map and successfully got that round, and that's 2 in a row, so a little bit of concern for Spirit as they head into this 3rd round, which they're going to go back down to the bottom floor and re-attempt this defense.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit, it kind of just crumbled, really, for them, and I'm really not too sure what happened. And, I mean, let's just hope the same doesn't replicate, because, I mean, Spirit are clearly a very good side. I mean, the way they play off each other, the way they play as a team, they're a very strong side. I mean, it just kind of all went a bit wrong, and well, that's really all that happened. It all just went a bit wrong, and there was no inherent, there wasn't one person make a big mistake. It was all very little mistakes, and then it came down just to a matter of gunfights, and which I can't remember who it was, gave a really good go at, and obviously got it down to, was it 1 versus 3? I think it was.
Yeah, 1 versus 3. Yeah.
1 versus 2 because the Buck was down, wasn't he?
Yeah, but mine's Buck was down. Yeah.
So 1 versus 2. I mean, well played. But Oryx now, top floor, very, very extended roam. He's still doing prep. He's going to give away his position, but Falcon finds one through a Catcan trap. We do love it. Isn't aware of the Buck who is in office. Going to be looking to push up towards piano, looking into master. Can't find the Oryx just yet. Oryx tucked away and pre-fires into bathroom. No, non-landed. Gives away his position. Oryx still tucked away. Isn't aware. Drone's going to go out. Will he drone the Oryx, or will it be a missed drone?
Trying to find out in just a second, though, because surely the Oryx is aware of this. I think they'll hear the player in office. I think they'll probably hear them rustling around in there, so they'll know that they're in there. Pre-fires through the wall, of course, just to try to find any angle, and decides to escape the clutches of those attackers. Just moves up towards Solar side, not wanting to take any gunfights. Wasted enough time. That's a minute and almost a minute and a half gone, and they still haven't got the top control, so that's good to go in for the roamer, at least, who's now made their way back towards the dining side. And of course, the site is the bottom floor. It's not even the top middle floor. It's not
What
the
is
top
C4?
floor. C4 is well placed. Headcar is able to find Stellar on the vertical play, and great roam so far. And this is what we've seen in the first round as well. And it seems to be that they have this site pretty much on lock spirit. They have a really good roam set up, and they have a really good idea of where they want to be holding, and their timings of what they want to do and whatnot, to try and make sure that they do get themselves in a good early lead when it comes to defending this site. Chrysler though is going to go down the stairs and just to see if they can open up that wall, and it's not going to really have an opportunity as of yet, just because they're waiting on the fuse to come through to get rid of the Cade Claw. Is it going to go off in time? It is! Look at that, beautifully done, and that is not an ideal situation for the Thermite, who I think still has one in pocket, so they're able to retry that, but that is at least one Cade Claw gone, and they're not going to be able to do it.
Sorry, they brought a fuse. I'm seeing this right, aren't I?
Yeah, it's working well, actually.
I mean, yeah, it really is. I just wasn't expecting to see a fuse. I won't lie. That really caught me off guard. I didn't even realise. Really bad, observing for me, Don't even realise the operators. And I mean, as we're talking, we see Slow just get himself taken out. That is also the fuse gone, and Loki does find one as well. Ooh. And Falco does find the Thermite. Oh! I thought Falco got it there. Falcon got it there, not Falco. So I thought Falcon.
Yeah, I think he would have got it across the line there, but the shotgun is on the other side anyway, so I think he was shooting a corpse in midair, but it was enough. And that bottom site just seems to be a nightmare for Firebird to try and deal with. Spirit Gaming seem to have it completely on lock. The other sites, not so much, so I don't think that Firebird would be too worried about that. They just couldn't really deal with that roam and really get themselves a good success early in the round, and didn't really work out. And we're going to go to kitchen dining, changing things out. Of course, we're going to have to go to a different site. We're not even going to see Baron Gaming. I'm surprised we've not seen it yet. 4 rounds in, not seen it any opportunity as of yet. Mira coming along as well in the hands of Rockstar. It's pretty much the same lineup we've seen the last time on this, and there's maybe a couple of changes. I think the Mozzie's new in the hands of Kobolos, so we'll see how that plays out within this 5th round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to comment. I mean, both teams are playing well. I mean, Spirit Gaming are really doing their best with this roam, and it really is working. Firebird are really struggling to clear it, and I mean, even droning could be a lot better.
Yeah.
The better droning you do, the easier it is to clear the roam, and clearly they aren't droning to the best of their ability.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I picked up on earlier on, that they just weren't playing the pinches very, very well. The couple of rounds that they've won on the attack, they have been able to play these pinches correctly. They've been able to drone it, been able to make sure that they have players in the right position and not challenge all from the same angle, and it's worked out for them. The other times, though, they've just been isolated a little bit much, and it's not been ideal for their attacks. Of course, different site this time. They're going to have to go to the middle site, and we're going to, we've been here before. We've already had a defense on it, but I think, though, because they can't extend as much, because it is one of the middle sites, I think this is where it's a little bit different for Spirit, and they're just going to extend into the bottom floor as well. You do have headset just downstairs. Knows there was a player lurking around that area, of course, because the sledge has opened up that garage, that main breach at least, using the sledgehammer. So it's opened up, it is there, and they're not going to go from that angle. It's just to show a little bit of presence, and at least maybe get that option for a rotate later on in the round.
Yeah, well, Piano window open. Alibi is going to be looking to hold this. Is a quite a aggressive position there. I mean, one nade and your game is over. I mean, Firebird Gaming are taking that map control very quickly. See the holes are open on the kitchen wall, and as I'm talking, Stella finds himself taken down by the Alibi. That's Hunter, I think, is let's say that. Refrag goes straight back onto the Mozzie and taken by Ash.
Just tried to be aggressive there. As soon as the breach opened up, was wanting to try and get in the faces of the attackers. Doesn't quite, know where to decide to go for the kill. Can't make the decision because there's just too many heads to see. There's the Thermite, there was the Ash. It was very much a catch-22. It was like, which one should I go for? I'm not really 100% sure which one to try and take the gunfight with. Doesn't get a decision, but look at this for a C4! Kobe right across that reinforcement. Falcon's able to find Chrysler before the wall can get opened up as well. So that is going to be a detriment to the rest of this round for the attacking side of Firebird, who just do not have the hard breach available to open up that wall. But 3 versus 3 the gun skill is there for Loki, able to find Hadka, and now things are looking a little bit more even playing field as Scrim's pushing through towards that master bedroom side. Knows there's a player lurking around, but look at the 2 C4s that are going to be sent up. They try and find someone. Headstart is able to connect his one onto the feet of Scream, and that's a 3 versus 2 situation established in favour of the defence of Spirit Gaming, who are looking ever so comfortable at this moment in time. But vertical play is coming through. The sledge has opened up as many angles as possible, trying to find anyone inside the site, make them squirm and make them move around as Rockstar goes for the flank, trying to come up that main stairs area. And I don't think they're going to go for it as of yet. Play the patience game. 25 seconds left on the clock, and Loki's going to have to go down that solar staircase, but will be met with a little bit of resistance, of course. Falcon with a shotgun at the bottom. Headshot finds 1 kill onto Slows, and Falcon is at the bottom with the shotgun and into Open Arms, is happy to receive that kill. And the M70 is able to find that kill, and the shotgun goes off, and another round on the board for Spirit Gaming.
Firebird are really struggling, aren't they, to clear that room?
Yeah.
30 seconds left, and they're not even on the correct floor yet.
Yeah, they're really struggling with it. I think I'd like to see them go a bit more aggressive, to go for sight a little bit more, maybe just stick together and stop doing split pushes, maybe. Like, you know, for that site, you know, maybe just go everybody send solo trophy side instead of splitting up, and they're just getting isolated too much. No, they're
taking 1v1s and then they're not refragging. I mean, what Ash did in the previous round was perfect. They realized there was people still up there. Yeah, they realized the Romans are still upstairs. Someone swung, killed one of the Firebird players. Ash swings back round and kills one of the Spirit Game players, and then the man advantage restored, and it's back to an even playing field. It was really well played.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. They've been really successful on these roams, and it's been good to see. You know, of course, I like seeing extended roams. I like seeing them work. I like seeing them playing with the time correctly, because of course everybody knows that on the defense, that time is the 6th defender. If you use it to its full advantage and full potential, then the attackers just don't have a chance, because you just have to, you know, manipulate it and make sure you play around it, that they're, you know, moving back at the right times. And, you know, that bottom floor hold was perfect. You know, they were on the top floor for maybe a minute and a half, then they dropped to the middle floor, tried to get a pick, shoot some drones, and drop back and drop back and drop back, and eventually the attackers just don't have the time to do anything successful with that last 30 seconds, and it's worked time and time again. There's been a couple of rounds that have been a little bit iffy from Spirit Gaming. It's not been complete and utter perfection from them. Firebird have been able to get a few good rounds, and hopefully they can even the scoreboard up before they go on to the half. But starting from a west side clear seems to be the idea. They try to clear through that library side, and of course it is a top 4 site hold, so something slightly different for the defense here.
Yeah, Rockstar going to be looking to play aggressive onto the library windows, and misses a drone, but the drone, I don't think saw him really. Oh, maybe he did. Jaeger's still placing down his ADS as a bit of a late prep maybe, or maybe he's just moving one of the two. And Stella on now. Piano window going to be looking to try and clear out the Legion, who is playing behind the piano door, sorry. But as I say, that Stella, he finds Rockstar. That was don't know who that was actually. Don't know where that was from, where he was playing. Oh, it was the dock. He was playing on the head holes.
Come on, just the top of the square staircase, Stellar was holding on the window, so drops him, and that's the presence to the library side gone, and that is at least some control on that southwest side established for the attackers, so they can now begin to sweep in towards that main breach area, and it looks as though they are set up together. So they're all coming from the same side, which is always good. This is what I wanted to see from the attack. I wanted to see them all playing together.
It also looks like they are actually going to be going for sight and not going to be trying to clear out the room, which could end badly, but also for Firebird, probably good, because they are struggling to clear the roam, and then once the roam's cleared, they don't have enough time to get onto site. So by going for sight and then clearing the roam, I think they're kind of like reverse engineering it, maybe. Or I might be looking too deep into it. But either way, main breach going open, and it's tricked.
Another one.
Another
one. Kobolas has been a delight on this Cade, being able to trick as much as possible. I think it's been Kobolas on most of them, but it's been able to collect so many of these hard breach devices, you know, whether it's a hard breach gadget, whether it's a thermite breach, it really doesn't matter. Being able to collect so many of them and really slow down this attack as they try to open it up. They now have only one chance to open it up now, and they're going to try again and see if they can do it and see if they can open up this main breach, because they're going to need it at some point. But of course, they do have Kobolas with the Cade claws trying to do it. It's not going to opt to do it this time, of course. Doesn't have the opportunity to do it anymore. They've now been destroyed. Slows gets up onto the doorway, but the swing does come through from Kobolas. Is able to get the kill onto Slows and tries to go for another one. Is able to get two. His heads up with another one. Finds Stellar and through onto the balcony. We do see the Cade go, trying to find another kill, and kill from behind. Kills the planter. That is pretty much the round gone, as Loki's now left in a 1 versus 4 scenario. Hits the goo mine, but not enough time. Gets a kill, but just not enough time left. And that's what I said. great at defense, waste so much time. Spirit are able to get themselves another round on the board, and that's 4-2 on the side split.
I mean, Firebird, I mean, they really need to pick up the pace on defense here, because if they don't, this is Spirit's game to win.
Yeah, it really is. Spirit are in a really good position at the minute going into the second half. Of course, this is where things can change, because that was a pretty specific roam style we've seen. We've seen a pretty specific type of defense, and Firebird just really couldn't deal with it. They couldn't clear correctly. They couldn't pinch them. There's a couple of good rounds where they played it successfully and were able to get also those 2 rounds they got on the board, but most of the time they just couldn't deal with it. So going on in their defense, they'll see if they can come up with something different, and immediately they are, because they're going to go to Baron Gaming, which we did see once from Spirit Gaming. We've never seen that site at all, and that's where they're going to go. The Mira is open as well, and Mira is commonly taken on this site, and in this case, it isn't going to be brought along. Instead, just going to be bringing quite a lot of head holes, and of course, a Warden as well. Why not?
Well, I do think it is strange they haven't brought the Mirror on this site, because, I mean, she is OP as it is, and let alone put onto a site where it's perfect for her. I mean, the site is literally made for Mirror, and it's quite strange that she's not been brought here. But as you said, a butt ton of head holes will do the trick.
Yeah, it's just preference, really. Some players,
Yeah,
and one of those ones where like Mira is banned so often on Chile because of that bottom floor. Of course, no one really wants to open up the main breach on the bottom floor and then see a Mira window that they have to deal with. It's a bit of a nightmare. So people just ban it. So people, because of that, most teams are not really prepared to actually use a Mira because they don't have it in their strats because she's banned all the time.
Yeah, 100%. And they've also brought a lot of util denial, a lot of grenade denial with the Wamai and the Jaeger being on the board. And I mean, really, if you want to go there alongside the mute as well, or any like E1 D1s or anything, if they had a lion. So a lot of denial on the side of Firebird NPC. But as I'm talking, Stella finds himself taken down. That's the Wamai off the board, and now Diana walking up library stairs, completely uncontested, without a problem, without a care in the world. And Alaway could be looking around to the fireplace. Can't really find anything at the moment.
Bit sticky situation because of course you've got a player inside the library, you've got a player at the top of the staircase, and now they're aware that Diana has taken up that most aggressive position.
I also think they're aware of the player in library, which makes things even worse for Firebird NPC, because they're establishing the map control, and as I say, that grenade goes out, Loki is off the board. He was the one playing in library, I think, if I'm not wrong. And well, I mean, I say that Koblos off the board as well. Spirit Gaming are looking, Spirit Gaming are looking to claw back what they've lost. Sorry, Firebird NPC. I'm getting that. Are looking to claw back what they've lost. But as I'm saying that,
oh no,
another kill, and now it's all up to Slow. She's left in library, but Ayana doesn't know he's there. I thought she knew, but she doesn't. Walks in, and Slow takes advantage of that, does find the kill, and isn't aware that Falcon is now on site, is planting, and is going to be in a post-plant situation, and is going to have to now push back onto site and retake it. Falcon going to be looking to push out into the library hallway. Is Jaeger aware? No, he's not. And Bloodset closes out the round for Spirit Gaming.
Yeah, who go 5-2 in the lead. Pretty comfortable so far from them, especially on that defense there, or sorry, that attack, as we had the side switch. And pretty good stuff as they swept through the map and were able to take that round. At the end there, though, Slows had an opportunity to win that. The timing was there. They knew they were going to hop in that window, and they just heard the player rush into library. Diana didn't know there was someone on that hatch. They didn't know where Jaeger was. They didn't know where Slows was playing. So had they just stuck on that window for just a split second longer, would have killed the Capital, would have killed the Planter, and then maybe got a flick on to Diana. Much better position. It's only a 2 versus 1 after that scenario, and you have the coverage on the diffuser. So very winnable there from Slows. Just unfortunate that the kind of timing didn't really play into their kind of lap in that round.
Well, that just shows exactly how important drone work and information is in that game. I mean, Diana had no clue, and it costed her her life. So, I mean, there's not really much more you can do in that situation other than use the drone you have in the pocket or the drone you have as your gadget. So, without putting the blame on anyone, it kind of is Ayana's fault.
I mean, they won the round, and technically the bait on the kill technically saves Capital's life, and that means they get the defuse down. So because they diverted it, whether it was on purpose, we don't know. Whether they were just sending it upstairs.
It might have been. Well, nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. They won the round. That's all that is important at this moment in time. And we are going to see them in it's Kitchen, isn't it? Yeah. Or is it Bar and Games again? Not Bar. Yeah. Bar and Games?
I think it's Bar and Games again, yeah. I believe we're retrying the same site. You know, they weren't too far away from, winning in, in a couple of instances, but this time, I think that the attackers are going to be wise to this because they've brought the Ying. They're going to go for the rush through that double window at least. 100%. I think that's pretty much the same idea. They've seen this the last time and they just were a little bit tentative and they didn't want to commit to it. This time I think they will, but not yet. Of course, Hadka is able to find Loki and still outside that window. Falcon does loom with the Yin Candela, sends them in, and it's a bit of a peculiar decision to send them in so early, and at least gives away that position because Stellar is immediately rotated towards that double window and knows that they're going to have to pay some mind to it, but there's no one protecting sight whatsoever. Crazyler is rotated in towards the bar side of things, so they're able to defend one side, but no one's really there to stop the hop in if it does come. Of course, they're going to have to be careful if they do go for the hop in and make sure they do cover their angles, but it's not going to come just yet. Scream above inside of Library in that corner, which we do usually see a player wedged in there, and they're going to have to deal with that before they can do anything of such of hopping in that window. Rockstar getting aggressive up towards the dining room and hasn't yet got a kill on side for this game so far. 5-3. Falcon's able to find slows, of course. Having you have Falcon on your side, who needs to kill anybody because he's going to kill every single player you can possibly find. Crazyler, though, will be dropped as Rockstar pushes in towards site and is able to get himself a double kill. Eventually gets them on the leaderboard, and that is a 5-1 scenario established in favour of SG. Spirit Gaming, they're able to take a flawless round, and they are able to go all the way onto match point.
I mean, they played that perfectly. They know they could win their gunfights, and they even adapted and brought the Ying.
Yep.
Which, I mean, works. Let's not beat around the bush. Ying is just works.
Yeah, she's in a good position right now.
And unless you have the unless you have a Jaeger ADS that's stopping you, I mean, it works.
I don't think there's ever been a time where where you wouldn't bring Ying. I don't think there's never been a time where if you slotted Ying into a lineup, you would go, oh, that looks out of place. I don't think there's ever been a time because it's just such a strong gadget. It's a nightmare. Exactly. As soon as you hear it come in, as soon as you hear that the big deep breath that it takes, as soon as you hear that, you're like, oh, here we go. I'm going to be blind. There's nowhere I can. There's nowhere I can go.
Gun is very good as well.
Exactly.
Quite overlooked in my opinion. I mean,
yeah,
it's very good and it's very strong. And I mean, she is kind of just one of those operators where she'll fit into any lineup. And yeah. Well, we see Rockstar though as well, switching onto the Thermite off the Ash, and now we see a Blackbeard off onto the Blitz, and now Ascends. We haven't seen too much of this season.
Well, I was going to say that there was a couple of choice operators in there, pairing up the Blackbeard with the Glass, and instead they decided to change it around, and it's going to be a Blitz. Yeah. Falcon, of all people, on the Blitz, who's been a wonderful gunner for the side of SG so far, is going to opt to bring the Shield operator and see if they can bring a little bit of chaos and anarchy to the side.
Also, now we're seeing Sens being played for. It might even be one of the first times since release, really.
I like to see my fellow non-binary operator getting a wee run out. I love to see it.
We do.
We'll see. We will certainly see if it pays off. Of course, it seems though they're going to stack up on the garage double. So it looks as they're going to start this up. It's going to be a rush, isn't it? Let's be honest. They're going to absolutely send it in. The Thermite's opened it up. There's no one there to contest it. The Smoke Babes go in. The Sense gadget comes through as well to cut every single line of sight. And surely the diffuser is going to go down. It will be the Shield Operator Falcon who goes and teases it, but it's downed. Loki has the advantage because, of course, Warden's on the board. They're able to spot him out, gets the kill, but Hitsu, the heaviest hitter in the server, is able to get himself a double kill and looking for another one as Cobbler's trying to go on the hunt with the Overwatch on the Glass. Spots out a little bit of damage. Loki, though, is recovered and at least back in a situation where they can get themselves another kill, but doesn't get anything so far because Koblos is able to get slows, and it's only the Blitz that's died so far. And look at that for a flick! Headsa takes the head clean off, and using that, or sorry, Koblos gets that kill. What flick that was on the Glass, gets the head, and the Thermite closes it out. The map goes towards Spirit Gaming, who are able to take that 7-2 very comfortable, very easily, and that is all of the points going in towards Spirit Gaming.
That was not as close. Both, I have to say, we obviously, when we first got in, the half an hour we have to come in before the stream starts or whatever to get production and everything to happen, we were saying that obviously we were doing our predictions that we know Jobless versus I don't remember what White Tigers Academy was going to be an easy run for Jobless because first versus 10th, and this game was going to be more of a close one. And actually, complete opposites. This one was more of an easy one for Spirit Gaming, and Jobless and White Tigers was probably the closest one. And I mean, would we have it any other way in Talent League? That's the question.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Spirit Gaming were effective on both sides. The aggression was just absolutely perfectly played. The roam, just too much for Firebird to deal with. And then on that attack as well, I mean, the final attack there, even though they lost the Blitz, is what it is, they were able to deal with the Warden and stops that from being even more of an issue, able to get the plant down and able to win that round out. So it was really well done from Spirit Gaming. They successfully, played it really well. And, some questions have to be asked in terms of going to Baron Gaming twice for Firebird before they brought out that bottom floor. But even on the bottom floor, they just didn't really contest the areas that they needed to contest. Nothing to put up with the main breach push. No, no Cade, no Bandit, nothing at all. They just left a mute jammer on it and no one paid attention to it. And then they were able to just send it in and get that round. And Spirit Gaming look effective. They win it out and they get all of the points for this evening.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some things to go work on now for Firebird. Definitely some. But Spirit Gaming played that very well. And obviously, as you said, their aggression was spot on. It was a very good game, and they played obviously they played very well. And I don't know about yourself, but I feel privileged that we got to cast tonight.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. It was a good time.
It was very good.
It was a good time. It was fun. Again, apologies for the bit of a break that we had in between. It was just because we did have a little bit of an issue. Of course, one of the teams did forfeit, which is it happens. It is what it is. But we'll march on. Of course, commiserations to Firebird who lost that one out, and well done to Spirit Gaming for winning. But that is pretty much going to be it from us from Talent League this week. Of course, we're back next Tuesday with the Major League as well, and then of course on Thursday with the Minor. So there's the two Playdays as well next week, same as usual. But that's going to be it from us tonight. My name's Chamberine, of course. I've been joined by Velocity. And if there's any budding talent out there that wants to get involved in Talent League, certainly make sure you hit the DMs of Epsilon. He's the one in charge. Make sure you go into his DMs and make sure that you hit him up and really annoy him. He'll really appreciate. He'll appreciate me mention that on stream for him. But yeah, if you want to get involved, of course, on all serious now, if you want to get involved, DM me, DM on Cooked, who's in charge of the socials and whatnot. You've also got Trippin as well. If you do want to get involved in any way, shape, or form, whether that's producing, whether that is as talent, whether that is playing, whatever you fancy, whatever floats your boat. We've got a couple of things up and coming shortly as well. But again, that's it from us tonight. Again, I'm Chamberine, joined by Velocity, and we'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.